Hey there, it's Kimberly here with Knit for Brains. Yes, we are still in the UK. We are off the ship, the boat. Actually, it's not a ship. We're off the boat. We turned it in on Saturday. Everybody survived. Nobody died. No geese. No wildlife was hurt in the sailing of that boat. And we had an amazing time. So much fun. We turned the boat in. My brother-in-law had to go back to work. And the Brit and I, we headed... I think it was south. We're in Bath. And so we're spending a couple nights here in Bath, and then we're going to be heading down through Somerset, down into North Cornwall in a beautiful little place called Port Isaac. And I cannot wait to show you Port Isaac. We'll talk about that one in another video. But I wanted to give you a little bit of history of Bath. It's beautiful. And then, of course, all the things that I made. So the city of Bath itself is actually a World UNESCO Heritage Site. Now, when you hear about the World UNESCO Heritage Sites, what you usually find is like it's a space, it's a location. The city of Bath is one of the very few, and I don't know how many there are, that it's the whole entire city, not just one space, but it's the whole entire place. And that makes it very culturally significant, historically significant in a lot of ways. So number one, first of all, were the Roman baths. That was started back in, I think it was 72 AD. So the Brit and I were in Bath in 2017, and that was my first introduction, my first experience with Roman architecture, Roman technology, if you will, and it absolutely blew me away. When you see the modernization, the things that they did, and the Roman baths were incredible. I'll show you some pictures here in a moment. It was a spa that people would go to. They had hot and cold water. They had cold plunges. They had hot steam waters. They even had underground heating. Don't ask me. I mean, it was absolutely incredible, the things that they were able to do. But the floors were actually heated. The actual structure that the Romans built over the baths, that's pretty much gone. That's all kind of underground. So when you go to the Roman baths, you actually go underground. Most recently, the Georgian era of architecture was built, and that is the second part of the UNESCO Heritage Site, which makes the whole entire city. So when you think of the Georgian era, think of like the 1700s and the 1800s, Jane Austen, that era. So if you are a fan of the show Bridgerton, a lot of that was filmed in the town of Bath. Jane Austen lived in the town of Bath for 4 years, but here's an interesting thing. There's a lot of scenes from the books that are inspired in her books from the city of Bath, but she only lived there for 4 years, and she never actually even got anything published until much later in life. So nothing was actually even published during her time. She wasn't even a well-known author. And if you do a little bit of research, it actually turns out she didn't even really like Bath. So it's all very peculiar. Another author who that was actually a little bit more interesting for me personally was Mary Shelley. Mary Shelley lived in Bath. She was married to Percy Shelley, who was a poet. So she, in and of herself, was not a famous author at the time, but while she was married to Percy Shelley and she was living in Bath, that's where she lived, and she wrote Frankenstein from this home. So she actually wrote the story Frankenstein in the city of Bath, in that location. So that's pretty interesting. If you ever get the chance to go to Bath or England and you want to see something really spectacular, go to Bath. It's very, very different than all the other parts of England. It's totally different than Oxford, totally different than London. It just has its own, because of all the architecture and the history, it just has its own feel and air of like this elegance, and it's just, it's a really, really beautiful, beautiful city. A lot of good shopping. In the city of Bath, again, tying into that whole UNESCO affiliation, they have these free walking tours. This year, they are getting their 100th guide, and they're volunteers. And not only are they all volunteers, but you cannot tip them. You cannot pay them. You cannot tip them. They will not accept any kind of money at all, which is really incredible. So you get this beautiful, amazing, I think our tour was like 2.5 hours, and it was a walking tour. We went through the baths, and so you really get a great history of the city, and you can't tip them, you can't do anything. So it's just the city of Bath is very proud of their accreditation as a World UNESCO site, city, space. They are also noted as one of the top, I might be wrong on this, but top 10, it could have been top 11, but I think it said top 10 spas in all of Europe. And the entire city is kind of considered a spa, if you like that. Anyways, fascinating city. You can see some of the beautiful pictures. Let me go ahead and show you those pictures, and then I'll show you what I did. So these are just some of the shots that I took in Bath during our stay, hopefully to kind of give you a feel of what the city looked like. And it's beautiful, and hopefully it'll inspire you to, go to Bath someday. Right? So beautiful. Now, the Brit and I have a thing, because I don't believe we've been here now. This is our 3rd week going into the UK. We spent 2 weeks on the boat, and we're into our 3rd week now, and it rained spotty off and on, to where it's like, do you really want to put your umbrella up in Bath? Like yesterday when we were here. Hardly really at all. And it was very scattered showers. It would rain for maybe 10, 15 minutes, little sprinkles, and then it would go away. So in my opinion, I don't actually think that it rains here in the UK. Now the Brit, he begs to differ, and he's continually saying, you just haven't seen it rain. It's going to rain. It's going to rain. I don't know. We're going to be here for 5 weeks. We're going into week 3. Still haven't seen it rain. So we shall see. I shall keep you posted. Anyways, on the boat, oh my goodness, was I busy. So much so, I'm going to take a permanent break, but I was like, I just did so much on the boat that I'm kind of taking, and going through Bath, there's really not, I'll crochet or I'll knit in the room at night, or maybe sometimes on the drive, but I don't want to miss the scenery either. So, we'll just see. Anyways, I finished the hat. This was the Musselburgh hat. And this is it. So remember, it's a 4-way hat, right? So this is the first color, and this is called the Cliffs of Moher. And I doubled it with Just Knit for Olive, I think it was, or Just Knit for, yeah, it was oatmeal. So if you notice, there's like a little bit of a haze, a little bit of a halo going on there. So the first look goes like this, right? Oops. And I did this as an adult medium, and I got the measurements right. It seems a little bit big, but so it'll be good for the Brit as well. But this is the slouch. Okay, so this is look 1. Then if I want to flip it and give it a brow, or a brim rather, this would be the second look. Also very cute. This color here is called Irish Sunset, and I mixed it with something called Midnight, also by Just Knitting for Olive. So that's this one here. So that's the 2 looks. Right now, if I take it off and watch this, this apparently is the magic of this hat. So you flip it. So basically this is it. This is the whole hat. Long, but once you get going on it, the hard part is really just doing the decreases and the increases on the ends. See how that, and it actually turned out really pretty. See that? And that's just doing the decrease and the increase. So and then it's just basically stockinette stitch. I did it on circular needles. I did a halo on both sides. So if I choose to do the other color, basically you take this piece and you punch it up inside there, and looky here, suddenly you've got another brimmed hat, and you just kind of flip that color away like so. It is very warm, very thick, so we're going on a big trip at the end of the year to Antarctica. And this hat is going to be very, very good for that trip. I tell you right now. So it goes like this. This is the slouch hat. Then, if you want it to be fancy, you flip it out like this, and you go fancy, just like that. So 4 types. Love this hat. What's really great about this particular pattern, and I did bring it with me. So this is it. It's called the Musselburgh hat. It's by Ysolda, Ysolda. I hope I'm saying that right. Ysolda. But this can be any gauge. This was sock weight yarn. You could do it in anything. You could do it thick and chunky. You could do it lace weight. I probably wouldn't recommend that. You can make it in anything, and that's what makes it so cool, is the gauge really just, you kind of have to measure your head, and then it gives you all kinds, and it is like size inclusive. I think it goes, well, here, it shows you. It goes baby, toddler, all the way through to adult extra large. So I charted myself an adult medium, and I probably should have gone to adult small or child. But that's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be nice and warm. Fantastic hat. Fantastic hat. And it is a super, super popular. I think she said she had like 20,000 downloads of this pattern. So this guy here is done. I finished it on the boat. I was very excited. Then, while I was still on the boat, I had bought this yarn in Oxford. So when we were traveling in Oxford, I found a yarn shop called the Yarn Store, or the Oxford Yarn Store. And this is by Chilton Wensleydales. And it is a 4-ply hedgerow. So that's what it looks like. Hedgerow, black Wensleydale lamb and rose fiber is what it's called. Hand dyed, 50 grams, 170 meters. The color is called carmine red. They had a couple different colors. I thought it was beautiful, and I thought, gotta buy a souvenir. So what I ended up making, and I'd heard about this pattern, it's very popular right now, and she said, oh, everyone's using it to make this petite knit. It's called the Sophie scarf, this guy right here. I thought, well, that's a day's worth. And it's basically a garter stitch. But what's really cool is, and I've never done this before, you end up doing an I-cord stitch here on the ends. See that? So it gives it this really, really pretty nice edge all the way along. And then you start off, you do increases all the way across, and then you come out and then you finish with decreases. So it's just, and it took me 2 days. 1 day to get through all the increases up to the middle, and then as soon as you get to the middle, then you start doing the decrease. So it looks like this, kind of comes around. It's like a really cute little French scarf, which is kind of what I was hoping for. And it just kind of goes around. Now I made the longer one. You can do one that only goes around the neck once, but I'm gonna go around the neck twice. So it goes like this, and then you just tie it like so, like that. See, isn't that cute? You flip it off to the side, and you got yourself this really cute little French scarf. So there you go. This, and isn't it cute? I mean, not me. It's the scarf. We're talking about the scarf. And then let me tell you about this black and white striped shirt. So I have my travel clothes and what have you. And I have this black and white. It's a different top than this one, but it's just a black and white striped shirt, and it's kind of European looking. It goes great with jeans or whatever. It's one of my favorite travel shirts. Our first day in Bath, I kid you not, I must have seen 20 women wearing black. Even the Brit was like, what is it with you in this black and white striped shirt? I'm like, I don't know, but apparently it's very popular. So I went into a store and they were having a sale, and I found this black and white top shirt, and I was like, I like this one so much, except this is a 3/4 sleeve. And it kind of hits off the shoulders, where my other one's a full-length sleeve. I come out and the Brit goes, isn't that your shirt? I'm like, no, this is a different shirt. But I think it looks really cool. It looks very Frenchy, if you ask me, with my cute little scarf here. So this is called the Sophie scarf. It's by Petite Knits. And I don't know if I paid for it. She gave it to me with my thing, so maybe I paid. I don't know. But anyways, very, very, very simple pattern. And it was really fun, actually, very fast. So if you're like, oh, I don't really knit, you know what? I would say give one of these two, either the Musselburgh hat or this guy. Give them a try. They're very easy. They're very stylish. They're very popular. And I would love to know if you're doing these, because, I'm trying to break out of my shell a little bit. I love my crochet. But I am expanding my horizons. I'm doing some weaving, as you know, and I'm doing some more knitting, as you know. But I mean, this was so fun. Look at it, and then it just rolls up like that. Isn't that cute? So my little travel things. I did buy some yarn in Rugby, and it is I didn't bring it with me. I'll have to show it to you on another trip, on another stay. It is a acrylic wool blend. It wasn't very expensive. I mean, it was a little street vendor that I bought it from. I think it might have been like £3 a ball or something like that. So I'm actually crocheting a little top. And I did that on the boat as well. So I did the Musselburgh hat from start to finish. I did the petite knit scarf from start to finish. That took me 2 days. And then that crochet top, which I'll show you later, that took me like literally a day. It's a granny square in the back and then 2 triangles in the front. I was just a knitting fool or a crocheting fool. I'm like, I gotta take a little bit of a break. So I am working still on the one project that I did bring with. And you know what, if I finish it, I do a couple little every day. And this is the basic, it's a chevron pattern. And again, this is knitting, but it's super simple. So it looks like this here. You can see, so it's basically, it goes like that. So you just knit 4 across, then you yarn over, you knit 1, you yarn over, you knit 4, you carry 2 stitches across, then you knit 1, and then you bring those 2 stitches back. And you repeat that 3 times until the very end. It's 45 stitches across. It's very, very simple. It's very fast. And again, it's, you know, I'm not really good with a chevron, but I loved the way that this is coming out. I think it's really pretty. The more I look at this, I'm like, actually, I really do like it. I am using the Cotswolds yarn that I got last year when we were here in the UK. This color is called Bourton on the Water, because that Cotswold village, there's a little stream that goes through it, and this color is inspired by that. And then the other color that I'm doing is called, hold the phone, not hold the phone, that's not what it's called. It is this one here, and it's called Stow on the Wold. Stow on the Wold is a beautiful little village that we stayed in. So I thought, if I'm going to buy this yarn, I want to buy it because I've been there, I stayed there, or whatever. So that was and this is the Stow on the Wold. So the idea with this yarn is I finish off 1 ball in this blue, and then I pick it up in this green. Well, greens and browns, and it goes the opposite direction. And I showed you the hat that I made. It's kind of a slouchy hat, and I alternated these 2 colors. So this is going to be the coordinating scarf to go with that hat. It's getting quite long, and I'm afraid that once I finish this here, and I still have a little bit of this ball here to do, and then I add this, and then I think it's going to be too much. It's going to be too long. So I'm going to finish off this ball here, and then I think I might just stop with this blue, hold off on this, and then just pick it up with the Stow in the Wold, and then just keep doing it until those 2 colors match. It's going to be long, and I think that's going to be plenty big enough. Then I'm not going to have any yarn. I think, though, that this project will carry me through to when I get home. I don't think that I will be done with this project by the time I get home. I could be wrong, but again, because I mean, we're seeing some gorgeous, gorgeous countryside, and when we get down into Cornwall, we're going to Port Isaac, and we're going to a couple other little places that are little secrets I'm going to show you guys later. I don't know that I want to have my nose in a ball of yarn. I really want to be able to appreciate and look and see what we've got going on. So if I don't finish it, that's fine. But I mean, come on, heck, I've been so busy doing these things that I've been doing here. Oops. So I just dropped my yarn. So that's what we've been up to. Thank you guys so much. I am so glad that you enjoyed and appreciated the boat part of the trip. Because I thought, well, you know, I mean, 3 weeks or 5 weeks without seeing me, you guys are going to forget about me. And so it was really just a way that I could kind of stay in the forefront. And I thought, well, I'm crocheting, I'm knitting, and it was such beautiful territory, and you guys really enjoyed it. So I thought, okay, great. So I'm kind of bringing you along with my journey. So I've now just shown you Bath, and then I'll show you the Cornwall coast, which I think they call it the Cornwall Riviera or something like that. It's just gorgeous, just beautiful. All right, well, I think that's probably it. I've shooed the Brit out of the room so that I could sit here and chat with you. And well, he's probably sitting outside waiting to come inside and, I don't know, go to the bathroom or something like that. So anyways, but I will be coming to you again next from North Cornwall in the little village of Port Isaac. And if you don't know where Port Isaac is, go find your PBS channel and go watch a couple episodes of Doc Martin, or there's a movie called Saving Grace. And there was another movie on Netflix called The Fisherman's Friends, if you know what I'm talking about. That's where we're going to spend some time. And it is my happy place on earth. It is probably one of my very favorite places in the entire world to go and hang out. So I'm really excited to bring it to you and share it with you. All right. Well, that's it. That's all I've got for right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for hanging in there with me. I'm bringing you with me to England, and you don't even have to buy an airplane ticket. How cool is that? So share with your friends, please. Let other people know what we're here doing. That even though I'm not in my babe cave, I'm still here bringing you content, tutorials, maybe not so much right now, what I'm doing, what's I got going on, and then you get to travel with me too. Thanks so much for watching. This is Kimberly with Knit for Brains, and as always, I'll see you soon.